Hey everybody, welcome to the round 2 preview. Carlton and the Western Bulldogs at Marvel Stadium on Thursday night, 7 days after our round 1 victory against the Richmond Football Club. Very much an emotional win, a lot happening, haven't beaten the Tigers in so long. Sam Doherty, a lot of things going on, and I'm sure everyone's got a pep in their step over the weekend and walking into work this week. But the reality is, premierships are not won in round 1, even though the rest of the world thinks that we feel like we've won the premiership. I think we've just gotten the monkey off our back, and why it was so important was to just build some confidence going into this game especially. Now, the Dogs are a team, even though we have been pretty poor as a footy club over the last few years, the Dogs, for whatever reason, I don't really understand why, but they're a team that we generally play well against. I'm not sure if it's the height. I'm not sure what it is. I think every team has a bogey side, and I think Carlton is probably one of the Dogs' bogey sides where we seem to just match up well, play well against them, and, going into this one, 1-0, the opportunity to be 2-0 for the first time since 2012 is one that I think, we should be excited about. Obviously not getting too far ahead of ourselves. A lot has happened. There's a lot going on. We're in a really funny time to be alive as a footy fan. The pandemic, the COVID situation, we know that Michael Voss and Jack Martin have contracted COVID, or they're in this health and safety protocols, and they won't be available on Thursday night. So we won't have a senior coach there in person. I would imagine that Vossi would be available via some sort of a video link. And obviously Jack Martin as well, who really helped get us over the line against the Tigers with an inspired fourth quarter. Now, the hope and the pray, I'm filming this on Monday afternoon, the 21st of March. The hope is by the time you're watching this, we don't have any more confirmed cases or any more confirmed protocol requirements where players won't be available. I'm just going to cross my fingers and hope that the negative results continue and our players are fit and healthy to play. It's a bit scary when you think about it. I think if you look at the AFLW and the Collingwood side, they had 15 players missing and, essentially couldn't field a team. We would not be in that situation. We would be able to field a team because of the top-up players that are available to us. But you don't want to be using 15 or 10 top-up players against the Dogs on Thursday. Ultimately, you want to have a full-strength list to choose from. And look, we'll cross the bridge as it comes. If it happens, it happens. We'll have to deal with it. But if it doesn't, we have to make the most of our opportunities. And I've spoken about this in the preseason. I've spoken about it over the last few weeks. Because of the situation, because of the fluidity of the situation, and because of the unpredictability of the situation, you've got to bank wins early. You've got to get the job done when you get your opportunities. And that's obviously what we did in round 1. Round 2 is another test in that regard. When I think about the Dogs, and I watched them last week against the Melbourne Footy Club, I was a little surprised that they were in the game to the level that they were last week at times. I thought Melbourne really dominated them and probably just didn't hurt them on the scoreboard, particularly in that first quarter. But for some reason, the Dogs just sort of found a way to get back in the contest. And I expect them to be much better. I expect them to respond. Great team. Just played off in the grand final and a bit unlucky. I thought they played really well. I guess there's a few situations which I think work in our favour. The Bontempelli one, clearly, he's hurt his ankle. They've mentioned on their injury report that they're going to manage him throughout the week and see if he'll come up for the Thursday game. He's obviously a big piece for what they do and the leader and all of that. And then there's the Luke Beveridge situation, which I found fascinating. And I'm not sure, I'm an outsider looking into the Western Bulldogs. I'm not sure what the relationship is like with him. I've never really seen him so emotional. I've never really seen him crack like that. Seems to be a pretty calm and measured guy. And to see the blow up happen like that, it just makes me wonder what's going on. Is there some sort of breakdown? Are there some fractures? Is there a bit of pressure? I mean, there clearly is some pressure. There's pressure in the industry. That's just the name of the game. But I just wonder, are the Bulldogs starting to crack? Are we starting to see some cracks? We're going to find out Thursday night. I think it's a great opportunity for us, and I'm excited to be there again. And the other thing I will mention, listen, first game, I'll let it slide, but 72,000 people at the MCG, not enough. Sorry, not enough. On Thursday night, we must be there. There must be 50,000 minimum on Thursday night. Now, we know that the Western Bulldogs fans won't show up. They've got a cheer squad. Half of them were there at round 1, just, they're not like us. We're different. We actually care. We're actually invested with every part of our being into this football club. So I'll be really disappointed if we don't get at least 50,000 people there. It's a Doggies home game. We're going to drown them out with noise. And it's important. The players make it very clear that they feed off our energy. So we need to get there. And, I understand maybe you wanted to see us beat Richmond before you get on board and start believing. But all right, it's done. Get there on Thursday night. Win or lose, get behind the boys because it makes a difference. And it makes the experience a lot more enjoyable, not only for the players, but for us fans as well. So I do urge everyone to get there. I understand medical conditions. If you've got symptoms, don't come, obviously. But if you can get there, I know that we've had 2 years of behaviours that have been altered because we've had to stay home, but get to the damn stadium on Thursday night, people. Come on. I will be going to the Western Bulldogs President's Club function. Now, I won these tickets 2 years ago. I finally get to redeem them. I'm going to go there. I'm going to eat their food. I'm going to drink their wine. And I'm going to come home with 4 points. That's the plan. That's what it is. I just want to go there and get the job done. In all seriousness, I expect our Tools to have a much more positive impact on the scoreboard this week. I think that's where the D's hurt them a bit last week. Ben Brown really got on top of Alex Keith at times. And then you've got Cordy and Shaki was there at times. He needed to be put forward because it just wasn't working. So I think with Charlie, with Harry, with DeConey when he's down there, Jack Silvani as well to an extent, I think that's the right mix. We know what our small forwards are going to bring. So I'm thinking that our Tools will have a good game. And generally, both of our big forwards have had really good games with the Western Bulldogs. Charlie's obviously had the infamous 7-goal game in 2019, I think it was. Harry, I think he's kicked 4 goals against the Dogs on multiple occasions. So I'm looking forward to the both of them getting on the end of a few quality entries inside 50. That's something I also want us to clean up on. In terms of changes, I mean, look, at this point, the only person that I know of, or that we know of, on Monday afternoon that won't be playing, I believe it is just Jack Martin. Now, the situation is, who do you replace him with? Is it a Brody Kemp? Is it a Jesse Motlop? I'm not sure what the other options are at this point in time. I don't think it's a Paddy Dow. It could be a Jack Carroll. I would actually personally go Brody Kemp. But you let me know in the comments below, what would you do in that case? And do you think there should be any other changes aside from the forced one that we have with Jack Martin? I personally wouldn't change anything else from the side that lined up in round 1, apart from the Jack Martin situation. But we'll chat about it there. Just excited to be back. It's been a good week. And I hope it continues. And it just makes you wonder, like, your imagination runs wild. If we beat the Dogs on Thursday night, this place, this whole city just goes to a different level, And, before the season, I think a lot of us going into the season were saying, all right, if we can get one of the first 2. So, I'm not discounting the Dogs. They're elite. They're proven, and I've got a lot of respect for how they play on the field, and I'm just hoping that we can pinch it, start the season 2-0 and really launch into the rest of the year and give the boys ultimate confidence in what they're doing. I think they would have taken a lot of confidence away from round 1. And I guess the challenge for Vossi and the coaching group now is just managing them, their expectations, their mentality, not letting it get too high or get too low or get too confident or get too down when things aren't going our way, and that's going to be the greatest challenge. And that's why I think it's important for the fans to get there, because we can give them that extra, 5%, just a little bit of an energy boost. And we know that the Dogs fans don't show up enough. So knowing that we can drown out their noise at their home game, I think gives us a little bit of an advantage. So I'm excited. I can't wait. Let me know in the comments below how you see this game playing out and some of the other themes and issues that are at play. And we'll go from there. Go the Mighty Blues.